Hello everybody, and welcome to our EdPuzzle about EdPuzzle. This is brought to you by the group of Megan, Rob, Sarah, Gwendolyn, Shelby, and Lindsay. For those of you unfamiliar with EdPuzzle, EdPuzzle is a resource teachers can use that uses interactive video lessons to encourage students. You can incorporate online websites including Khan Academy, Generation Genius, even YouTube, or any other video that you may have available to you, or even a slideshow like this. This tool can be used in a variety of different content areas across a variety of grade levels. As an example, this can be used in band and choir as a way to critique performances or to line up with the standards. It can also be used in social studies and science to go more in depth in the curriculum, as well as being used in PE as a review tool, where you're reviewing rules, terms, and skills. This tool can make us more effective teachers by giving students another way to learn. Makes sub-plans super easy, and of course it provides differentiation. There's a link to Google Classroom. You can import your students directly with a push of a button, so your kids get uploaded from your Google Classroom roster directly into your EdPuzzle classroom. And then there are links to send your grades from EdPuzzle directly to Google Classroom, and then from Google Classroom you can send your grades to Infinite Campus. There's a lot of customization on EdPuzzle to meet your specific needs. One of the ways is that you can set it up so that kids can't rush through, they can't skip through the videos, and they have to watch the videos from beginning to end and answer the questions along the way. You can also adjust how many chances they get to complete the assignment. So if the default, I believe, is 1. You can leave it set at 1. You can change it to other numbers, even unlimited, which is what I do, Mr. Mitchell. And I allow students, basically, I instruct students to keep doing the EdPuzzle until they get 100% completion. 1, it helps them with their grades. 2, it's forcing them to go back through and re-see the material and work more and more with the material. We've got a short demonstration here that shows what we mean by it being in green, yellow, or red, and the percentage. So let's go ahead and take a look real quick at what we mean. So here is EdPuzzle. This is the Discover page, so you can search through and find EdPuzzles that you want. You can sort it by all these different metrics, but we're going to look at an actual classroom of mine, and this is an assignment for 6th grade. If we want to back up, here's the page we're on. So this lets you see that I have 2 things that need to be graded for this class. So it's a good thing I have this as a demonstration tool. So these are for the open-ended questions. And if we click on this, we still see if I want to go through and grade that open-ended question, I can click here. But if we look down through here, it gives us a sorted list of who's turned it in. Was it on time or late? I don't have anybody that turned it in late. And the reason that there's nobody late is for this little icon here, which is to update it to Google Classroom. It has to be current. So whenever you want, one of the ways you can update the grades is you can change the due date to whatever day you're looking at it and then send it that way. Another is up here in the settings, you export grades to LMS. That will just send all of these current grades to Google or whoever you've got your LMS set up, which is going to be for all of us Google. But it allows us to go through. So here you can see a student has 100% completed. Here we see 3 students who've currently got a 0 on this assignment, who've not made any attempts, and they've never even opened it. Here we see another student who hasn't completed the assignment, and they've got a 50%. If they have a 75 or to 51, I believe, then, or to 50, then this is yellow. If it's below 50, it turns red. So if a student had turned this in, because I've got it set to unlimited, I've got closed captions on so they can use closed captions, and I've got prevent skipping on so they can't skip. And so as the students go through, like this 50, if they turned it in, I could make them reset their progress, which wipes out their grade and makes them start over with however many attempts. That resets their attempts. Or I can just make them, give them one free retry, like if they've met their maximum number of attempts, or if they turned it in without retrying it. Because what ends up happening is if they submit the assignment, then they can't retry automatically. They have to talk to you, and you have to push this button. So with my students, as you see, most of them have done very well, and then you have the few students who just didn't do it for whatever reason. And then if we want to look at what the grades look like, this is what the grades would look like for that same class. And as we look across, we can see that pretty much the same students have, the students that are struggling with doing the EdPuzzles are pretty much consistent. Ignore Hammer's stuff here. These are all red because he transferred in after these were already done, so he's got them done in a different class. So he does have grades for them. It's these three right here that are ready to be graded that he's waiting on. So quick little tutorial there. Now back to our slideshow. So that was what we meant by yellow, red, and green. And we've already talked about giving students multiple chances. And this is dependent upon the teacher. You can do it however you need to. Like I said, I started the year with giving everybody 2 chances because I figure if they see it once and then they go through and they need to, then they get a free try on their own, and then they should get 100. That wasn't working for me, and again, I was emphasizing for students to take notes as well as they were watching these. And so I didn't get the results I wanted, so I changed it to unlimited times to make them go back and have to redo it, because I had some students who just hurry through and didn't really care what their grade was. But once I made students have to keep trying over and over again, before I'd even accept their grade, it got much better for me. When they go back through after they've done it the first time, they can go, when they retry, they only have to go to the questions they missed, so they can skip ahead a little bit to the questions they missed. And that isn't just answering the questions. They can skip to the question and then rewatch the last segment before that question. So from the previous question to that question that they missed. Or watch any portions that they need to throughout the whole video. Differentiation for this can occur across all levels. You can actually have your answer choices as pictures for pre-K, kindergarten, first grade if you're concerned that your students can't read yet, so they're not going to be able to know what they're selecting. You can make your ABC choices, or ABCD choices, you can set them up as pictures, so they're choosing the picture. You could have your question, I believe, even have a picture for the question. And you can even use this in SPED or wherever you need to go back over material. This tool can save time in that it is auto-graded. Again, with having multiple due dates, that will affect your auto-grade, because as you saw in my grade book, that the auto-grade feature, when students miss the first deadline, you have to go back through and grade each assignment separately to push the grades forward. And there's a little bit of a lag time. Probably didn't see it here in mine because I already had it preloaded, but there's a little bit of lag time in the grade book every time you go to that. So if you're going back and forth from the grade book, or in the time to load the so it is kind of a pain to go through all of the assignments that you have, depending on how many assignments you have, and reload each one to push grades forth. So having some sort of deadline would be my suggestion, whether that is like a first initial deadline and then a final deadline, so that you don't have to go through and do this for every assignment all the time. And that is the end. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation or short EdPuzzle on EdPuzzle. Thank you. Oh,